Live the dream, one of the slogans that fits Barbados. Tammy Levent from Elite Travel and Seymour Bailey join us now to tell us how you can make that dream come true. How are the both of you today?
We're fantastic.
Wonderful, thanks.
I'll say, so history lesson, History 101. You're taking us back to school so that we can learn about Barbados and then experience why we want to go there, right?
Well, I'll tell you, I learned a lot talking to Seymour this week. There were some things that I knew about Barbados being there, but some things I was like, wow, didn't even know about that. So I'm really excited about the heritage and the culture of Barbados and the ties that it has to the United States. So I know, Seymour, you're going to tell us all about it, but maybe we should kind of ask Natalie if she knows who was the first president that visited Barbados.
Well, unfortunately, Seymour already spoiled it. We talked about it before this segment started, but it's the only other country that this president went to. We're talking about George Washington.
Isn't that awesome?
Well, and explain.
Well, believe it or not,
I don't even know how he got there.
Barbados was pretty much considered the sanatorium of the Caribbean. Young George came to Barbados with his uncle Lawrence to recover from an illness, but in Barbados he contracted smallpox. Fast forward to the Revolutionary War, when all of his soldiers were dying, George Washington was able to continue fighting because he had gained immunity in Barbados. So in a significant way, Barbados has contributed to the U.S. experience. And in more than one way, Charleston, South Carolina, the first 5 governors of Charleston all came from Barbados. The only colony to settle a colony, Barbados. So lots of great heritage, but if you go back to George Washington House, you can actually come to Barbados and have dinner with George still in Barbados. During December through April at the George Washington House in the UNESCO World Heritage Area, you can have an intimate 5-course dinner with George, dressed in his regalia, relating his experience in Barbados as a young man.
I had no idea you could go experience what we consider American history from George Washington. And I like this book here I want to touch because it talks about how the relationship between Barbados and the United States.
Definitely, and we're going to be launching that also at in this book, our Barbados Comes to Tampa. But the foreword to that book was actually written by the Attorney General of the United States under the Obama administration, Mr. Eric Holder, whose dad is from Barbados, and both of his paternal grandparents is also from Barbados. So lots of close U.S. connections and ties to Barbados. So we're not only beach and sand, there's lots of history and heritage. The oldest Jewish synagogue in the Western Hemisphere happens to be in Bridgetown, Barbados, another UNESCO World Heritage Site. So beyond the beach and the bars and the restaurants.
And then you have the Concorde. If you remember the Concorde, the plane is retired.
Definitely.
In Barbados.
So one of those other unique features of the destination, as Tammy alluded to, outside of New York, JFK, France, and Great Britain, the only other country in the world that Concorde flew to was Barbados. So when the British retired their fleet, they donated one to the people of Barbados. So there's a really nice Concorde museum that you can come and you can even have an event there if you have one of your group events.
Cool. So you know they're doing the Food and Rum Festival that we have coming up, and we're going to be doing a tag along. But then you were telling me how they're going to have an event inside the Concorde for that night.
So definitely, you can have one of those events held under the Concorde, where you can go up and see how the rich and famous flew to the island while sipping your rum cocktails in Barbados.
So I love the history lesson, but we've just kind of glossed over the bars, the restaurants, the beaches, the sand. I would be remiss not to bring it up, though, in closing of this interview. We do need to touch on that just a little bit.
That's right. Well, we do have all of that and more, but the food is exceptional. The rums.
Definitely, and Barbados is the birthplace of rum. Mount Gay Rum, 1703, which we'll have on set on Friday, is the oldest rum in the world. Rum actually started in Barbados. So again, some more history, but you can enjoy it as well.
I was going to say, guys, it sounds like Barbados is definitely the place to go. Well, Tammy is definitely the place to make that trip happen. As always, your website, phone number, everything is going to be on your screen on how you can get a hold of Tammy. And also, Tammy has a little contest that we do need to touch on as well.
Yes, which is going to be drawn on December 31st of this year. And of course, if you don't enter, you don't have a chance to win. And we're giving away a trip to Morocco and Argentina and Ecuador and Mexico and India and all these exotic destinations, over $36,000 worth of giveaways. And we'd love to give one away. We just gave one trip away last week from your show. So I am totally excited to give all these away.
Okay, and again, if you want to visit Barbados, Tammy can hook you up with that trip or any other trips that you'd like. There's her phone number and website. Thank you again.
Thank you.